Okay, I'm gonna walk you through 15-20 minute routine. You can go faster once you get used to it. This is just an introduction to the positions and how to keep these muscle groups activated through the practice. So the muscles we'll be working on is mainly here the hamstrings, which are usually very tight, and people don't really realize that they also need to be trained rather than just stretched. Also the quads need to be stretched out because they balance out the hamstrings. And when you do exercises from the hamstrings, it has a really strengthening, stabilizing effect in your lower back. So if you have any issues at all with your lower back, this can be something that strengthens that area internally. So you have the support from inside and you can do your everyday actions with no problem. So with that said, let's begin. We start feet roughly hip width apart, and you want to bend your knees with your hips going backward as if you're going into a squat. So hands don't go on your knees, they go on your shins here. And what you're looking for in this position is an activation at the back here, your hamstrings. You should feel tension, a stretch coming the deeper you come into the squat. So this is where we begin. And breathing deeply, pull your arms behind you. Feel an activation in your upper back and your chest. And breathe here for a few seconds. Extend your arms out and settle. With both of these positions, you're settling deeper into your hamstrings. Here, you're extending your hips backwards, and you sustain this position, retract your arms, and hold them here. And from here, we do what's called good mornings. You're basically using the muscles in your glutes and your hamstrings to raise you up. Your back is straight, your spine is extended, your neck is straight. You keep that, and you're just moving this part. Do 15 of these. Keeping your back straight. And your knees should be above your heels. So you keep this activation in the hamstrings. 15 of those, after which, bring your arms behind you again. Feel that stretch here, stretch in your upper back. You're going deeper into this position. Stretch out front, you're going deeper backwards. Always maintaining that connection in your hamstrings. And from here, you relax down, maintaining that activation. Your hands are about 6 inches to the foot in front of you. You can bend your knees as much as you need to, and slowly straighten your knees with your breath. And you should, if you've been activating your hamstrings enough, you should feel a shake in your legs. Shake up your hamstrings. This is exactly what you want. You're shaking out all that excess tension that's been stored there. You're opening up these areas, allowing the energy to flow, oxygen, water, blood to access these areas that have been locked up for so long. And after, if it stops, you can press further, trying to straighten your legs, deepening in, retaining this activation in your hamstrings. And from here, we lift up. We want to keep the cardio going, so go straight into the next exercise. So you go into a lunge, your back heel is raised, stabilize yourself in this position. So your hips are level. Not too far down, not too far forward or backward. Your spine is straight up, hips are level, and your knee is not all the way bent in a right angle. You leave it like this. But you want an activation through your hips to activate the quads here. So you tuck your tailbone. This is crucial. If you notice throughout that you slack on the hamstring, you slack on the tailbone, your quads will be relaxed. You want them to be stretching. So you tuck the tailbone in, reach your arms up, clasped hands, extend, and you want to feel a stretch all the way up through your back, all the way down to your feet, but especially here in the quads, because they counteract your hamstrings. So we stretch up, lean back towards the left in this case, because our left foot is forward. Inhale, and you want to raise your body just using that back foot. Nothing else is moving, just that back foot. Your weight is in your front heel, so you should feel a slight activation in your left hamstring on this one. But most of the activation should be in the quads, in the right quad, the left hamstring, and the right leg. Do 10 to 12 of these, and then lean forward, extend the arms backwards, and you feel your weight being transferred into this hamstring. Forward, hold this position, and from here, you turn your arms out to the left. Now you can do rotations, repetitions, or you can just hold it out here and hold for 10 seconds. Then you come back and do forward hinges. 12 forward hinges. Same kind of principle, but just with one leg, activating this hamstring. Once you do 12 of those, step it up and swap. Keep the rhythm. Not bending this leg completely. Activating the quad by tucking the tailbone. Sinking into the heel of the front leg, activating the hamstring. Inhale. Stretch your palms upwards, leaning back slightly towards the right this time. And from here, activation using the back foot, back ankle. So always remember to keep your hips in alignment, not too far forward, not slouch to one side. Very important. If your pelvis is not aligned, you won't be activating the right muscle groups. So keeping attention on that quad, making sure that big muscle on the front on the left side is activated, stretching up and back. Once you've done 12, lean forward, stretch behind, arms extend out, slightly upward, come back down, 10 seconds, either holding in this position, or you can also do repetitions. And from here, 12 forward hinges. You want to keep this leg activated, not too far down. 12 of those, same principle. Tucking your tailbone to activate this back quad. Weight in the front heel to activate your hamstring. Once you've done 12 of those, step forward and we'll move into the next stage. Wide-legged stance. You don't need to go super wide here. This is fine. And you want to be conscious of not slouching into your arches here. You want to keep it active. Keep this edge, this outer edge active. Same principle, bending your knees, activating your hamstrings. Hands here on the shins. And from here, we go straight into 15 of these. So set yourself up. Activate the hamstrings, arms extend behind, sinking deeper into that activation. Arms extend in front, sending your hips back, knees above heels. And from here, 15. Good mornings. Keeping focus on that activation in your hamstrings, keeping the feet active. And when you do 15, we come back into this position, arms behind, arms extend outward, and we come down. But now from here, we're straightening out the legs. We put one hand in the center, the other hand, we inhale, raise up. This twist goes all the way into the hips, into the low back. Lifting up, looking up. We do 10 of these each side. And we want to feel this stretch in the adductor, in the inner leg right here. That's very important for stability, flexibility in the hips. So you do 10 of these with your breath. Keeping active in the feet, squeezing your arches. 10 each side, hand in the center. This time you should feel in your right adductor. If you're not feeling it, try straightening your leg a bit more. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, opening your lower back and hips. Exhale down. 10 repetitions. And then after 10, come back into this squat position. Arms behind. Arms extend forward. Deepening activation of the hamstrings. And from here, we do possibly the most difficult in the whole routine. Squeeze your elbows together, your palms together. Back is straight, spine extended, hamstrings activated, feet active, and squeezing your elbows together, you do lifts. 10 lifts. You should feel it in your shoulders, in your upper back, in your low back, your hamstrings. 10 of these. After which, when you complete 10, arms extend behind, arms in front, and we do 10 more. Squeezing elbows together. If you're not squeezing, you're not activating the right muscle groups and making the changes that are required. 10 more of those. When you're finished, extend the arms out, extend the arms in front, squeezing, activating those hamstrings. Turn the arms, palms outward, lift up, extend, and relax down. From here, we do that same stretch out, feeling that shake. About 6 inches to a foot in front of your center line, and you're pressing in with your palms, straightening through the legs, stretching out those hamstrings, shaking free any old tension that's been stuck there. And you can sink into it, and sometimes that's better for releasing the shakes. You want to be shaking as much as possible. And from there, hands on your hips, come back up, and we'll return to the original position, feet hip width apart, in a sort of squat position, hands on your shins. Activate those hamstrings one more time. Inhale, sink deeper into your hamstrings, arms behind you stretching, stretch forward in front, and here we go, 15 more good mornings. Your spine is straight, your lower back should be fried by this stage. That's great. Feeling this activation in your hamstrings. We do 15 repetitions. Remember, the movement is coming directly from your hamstrings and your glutes. You're not actually moving your back. Your back remains straight and locked. And then from there to come out, extend behind, extend in front, and do more of the shaking. Pressing into your palms, straightening through the legs, breathing deeply. And from here, come back up, and we do one more quick stretch, warm down for the quads. Your hips are in place, level, and not too far forward or backward. From here, stretch up, and just tuck your tailbone so you can feel that nice stretch through your front quad, through your back quad, sorry. If you feel it, you can activate those feet one more time, making sure to keep the front leg not completely bent at a right angle. This is more for warming down, stretching out the quads. Change side. Keep that front knee partially bent, stretching upwards, hips are level, activation in that left quad from tucking your tailbone. Breathing deep into this position, hold for about 10 seconds, and release. Do that every day. You will never have lower back pain.